Yeah.
All right. Hi, Michael. My name's Becky. How are you?
Well, it looks like Brian popped on too here.
Oh, cool. All right, well, we'll get started. It's going to be kind of a different class today. We're just going to go over disclosures and the new changes that Wisconsin's gone ahead and put in place for them. No longer, essentially, if you've ever done business in Wisconsin, a lot of times you'll see folks will actually have the real estate condition report, which is just disclosures, and they'll draw a giant line through them and simply state that the seller refused to go ahead and fill those out. However, there is a form for that the seller can already go ahead and sign to say that they don't want to go ahead and fill this out. Sorry. On the screen. Okay, so what it essentially boils down to with the real estate condition report is Wisconsin has said, hey, agents, no longer is this going to be okay for you just to go ahead and draw a line through it. They're required to either fill it out or decline it officially. And like I said, there is a form for that, which we can bring up. I can bring it now. Right here, it's the seller's refusal to complete. And this falls for those folks who just say that they absolutely do not want to fill out disclosures. They're not going to do it. So you literally just fill it out. Who is the seller? The listing, sorry, the listing agent, the listing firm. The refusal to complete box, if they're refusing, if they don't have to, because there are in some cases that they don't have to, if they're a personal representative, if this is an estate, a conservator, then you would go ahead and check this. There's no need to use this in addition to your real estate condition report. If they refuse to sign it or they don't have to sign it, this is the only thing you have to fill out. So, yeah. Pretty easy as far as that goes. The state has just come forward and said it's just not appropriate any longer for sellers to go ahead and draw a line through those condition reports as their way of saying, I'm not filling it out. They're saying use their appropriate form. Easy peasy. So if you're dealing with commercial real estate, however, they do not have to. They are not required by the law to use a real estate condition report. They don't have to disclose. If we can get them to disclose, great. They don't have to. And with commercial, they don't have to fill out the seller to refuse because they're not required to under Wisconsin law. Does that make sense? Hi, Brian.
Hello, a little slow to the unmute button.
No, it's all good. Does that make sense what I said about the disclosures, about not drawing the lines through them, filling out the appropriate form, and then with commercial, not required?
Yeah. Say, I have a question. Obviously, I don't do very much Wisconsin stuff, but aren't the agents required to fill out a report as well?
Yep, our portion of it is a visual inspection report. So a lot of times when you have a client who says that they're not going to go ahead and fill out their real estate condition report, we fill out the visual inspection. We're not inspectors, but we're required, if we see a defect, we're required to go ahead and note it and disclose it. It doesn't relinquish us our duties of disclosure, those duties remain in effect even if the seller doesn't want it.
Thank you.
All right. That's this is gonna be like the shortest Wisconsin class ever. I'm sorry, guys. Usually more people are here. It's my fault. I had to reschedule it, but that's all we were really gonna talk about today was disclosures. And then to see if anybody had questions just in general about Wisconsin, or if you're thinking about getting your license. I'm not sure, Michael, if you're licensed in Wisconsin or not. What questions, I guess, do you have? We'll make it more of an open forum.
Yeah, I have a question. So I am currently not licensed in Wisconsin, but I do believe there is some reciprocity with some of the classes.
Yep, there is.
So what are the basics as far as like, or basic differences, I guess, between Minnesota and Wisconsin as far as like some of the requirements for CE?
Well, they're pretty close to the same, but Wisconsin does it biannually. So every 2 years, you're required to go ahead and do your CE, where with Minnesota, we're required to do it yearly. So it's every other year, which makes it nice because then you're like, okay, we do that. Wisconsin offers it in many different ways. For us, those of us who are licensed in Wisconsin, most of us take it through the WRA, just simply because it's a work at your own pace. There's no timer attached to it. There's no seat time. You take the class, you take the test, you pass, you're done. So I guess that's the biggest difference. It's biannually and it's a work at your own pace.
Is it the same amount of credits, or is there an hour system, or is it just like the learning based one?
You know, I think that they are starting to break it down into hours because there's so many people who are multi-licensed with different states. So they have broken it down. So like if you wanted to take a Wisconsin class but have a Minnesota credit, they break it down for hours for Minnesota. But otherwise, it's just a basic credit or hours based on their, sorry, let me shut this off. So that answer is yes and no. It can be based on hours if you're doing the Minnesota class. Here, actually, I have it pulled up here. Because it is a question that we are getting a lot.
I'm not sure, but I thought it was 18 hours for Wisconsin.
I think it's 15 mandatory and 3 extra, like, you know, extra credit type thing. So here, sorry.
I think you page up just a little bit. It has it.
Yep, I'm just trying to make sure that I can move this out of the way a little bit more. So here is the one that's dual. So you have the 6 mandatory courses, 3 credits each. So it's based on credits and hours for the Minnesota side of it. So there's different, let me shut this. So when you look at it every 2 years, every 2 years, you get your 6 mandatory, 3 credits, and then it's broken down into hours, since this is a Minnesota and Wisconsin one. So there's different ways that you can do it on demand, which is the way I usually prefer to do it, because signing up for classes occasionally, and then all of a sudden we have a showing, I'm going to choose the showing before I show up for class. So I do the on demand. However you want to do it here, you're allowed to. They're nice classes. I don't know. Wisconsin's very much an open book state. You know, even when you get your test for your Wisconsin license, they give you all the forms. So it's very much you'd have to try real hard to fail it. How long have you had your Minnesota license, Michael? All right, well, I hope that answered your question. Is there any other questions, Wisconsin based? Brian, you got the compensation agreement form. Did you have any questions on that?
Oh, you talking about with the deal with Hartman?
Yep.
Yeah, I just uploaded all of it. I just uploaded what I had. It was pretty, no, it was pretty lame, but I think we're covered on that, so.
No, we're covered.
I put notes in the file as well, so
Yep.
thank you again for helping with that.
And how about the form that I sent you? Does it make sense to you? I want to say it had to do with the Wisconsin compensation.
I don't remember.
Let me take a look.
Oh, wait, yes, I did get that. Thank you.
Yeah,
The builder compensation agreement.
yeah, it's, I use it for sale by owner. I use it for everything that doesn't have specifics tied to it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. That's a nice form. I don't know why Minnesota dumped theirs. They had one until about 10 years ago and then they got rid of it, so.
Yeah, it just makes it nice. And you can, like with all Wisconsin forms, you can go ahead and alter it as needed, which is why I use it. I love that form. Just nice when you're not sure or they're paying in a really strange way.
Yep.
Michael, so you can see what we're talking about. It's a compensation agreement. All right, well, any questions? Like I said, I feel bad it's a short class. Any questions in general?
I'm good. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. If you need me, my contact information is on the website. Oops.